For the analyst profile, the branches allowed were basically all the branches that we had in our institution: computer science, IT, electronics, electrical, mechanical, civil, industrial. So we had 3 rounds. In the first round, it was simply a written test. It consisted of 11 aptitude questions, and the time duration was 1 hour. The questions were not typical aptitude questions. Actually, they were little bit tough. Like most of them didn't have simply maths or LR that generally comes in all the exams. They were quite a little bit difficult. Uh, but they are generally found in all the books that we have or on the websites. Then after in the first round there were 250 students that appeared for the process. After the first round they shortlisted 25 candidates, and out of 25 it was one-to-one interview for all the candidates, 25, and they took 5 candidates from 25, and they went on for the next round, which was a final round, and they took 2 candidates for the analyst profile. After the written test, there were 2 interview rounds. For the first round, there were 25 candidates, and all of us were interviewed individually by one-on-one. And I was being interviewed by the head of the team. So he was just walking in the garden, and I was also walking with him on the footpath in the garden. So it was a kind of informal interaction. First of all, he asked me how I am doing and all like this. Then he asked me about my hobbies. And from that I told him about my past experience in the college. I told him about my sponsorship committee work and other organizational activities. So he was a kind of little bit interested about all such things. He asked me in detail about the sponsorship committee work. Basically he asked me that how can you organize the work in a more efficient way. So this is what they do in Analyst. That's why he asked me, he focused a lot on all such things. Then there were some typical puzzles, like we have 2 mugs of water, one containing 5 liter and other containing 3 liter. We have to make 4 liter from them. So I answered it easily. Then there were some. Then he asked me why do you consider yourself fit for this analyst profile. Then I told him a lot, like I was also a member of the placement committee, so we have to interact with the companies. So I told him in detail about that also. Then he asked me something about the financial terms, because I told him earlier. So he asked me about CRR, cash reserve ratio, repo rate, then stock market, gold exchange rate, RBI, and all such things. And the interview went on for 20 minutes. And at the end of interview, he was impressed by me. And then I went on for the second round. The second round was a group round. There were 3 members in the panel. All of them were taking the interview together. So as I entered the room, first of all they asked me about my experience of the first round, and then they started with the puzzles. They asked me around 4 puzzles. Out of them 2 were estimation problems. One was like I had to estimate the number of planes flying in India from for a particular time period, say 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And I analyzed the problem taking into consideration many factors, like domestic airports and then international airports, then some VIP flights and all. The second problem was I had to estimate the number of street lights in the campus. So I did it. The second estimation problem given to me was I had to estimate the number of street lights in the campus. So they generally check how we approach to the problem. That is more important in such type of problems. They don't want exact answer from us, because no one knows that, in fact. Then they asked me a puzzle. I had to tell them, like, there is a piece of cake and a small portion is cut from it. Then I have to cut it in half. So there are 2 approaches to do that, which we can find in most of the aptitude books. How would you move Mount Fuji and others. Then after these puzzles and all, they went on for my past activities in the campus. They asked me in detail about my college life, about my second year, third year, about computer engineering, and then they asked a lot about my summer project and summer training. I did my project on the coaching center management. Like the coaching center organized tests for the students. So the test we can analyze the performance of the student on various bases. So I did the analysis part there in the there in my coaching time, project time also. So I told them a lot about it. Like a 11th 12th student do PCM coaching. So after the test we can analyze like the rank of a student in his physics, chemistry or maths, or all these analysis parts, and they were impressed by that. Then they asked me my strength and weakness, typical lecture questions. Then there was one more puzzle. It was last. Like there is a glass of water. It is filled up. I have to make it contains exactly half without any measuring instrument. So I answered it. They also asked me about my schooling, about my 11th and 12th class, and about my coaching, whether I took coaching also. So I told them about the coaching. I took coaching from them in the classes. So I think they knew about BMC people. So they told me a lot about that, about the people there, and about the culture there. And then they asked me that you have got a good pointer and you're in computer engineering. Then still, why are you opting for this analyst profile? So I was interested in analyst only. I chose. Then they asked me why you took computer engineering at the start of BTech. So I told them that it's generally like at that time we don't know much. It's generally based on the rank of AIEEE. I had a good rank in AIEEE, so I took computer engineering. But later on I found out that I was not interested in software, so I opted for analyst profile. And at last they asked me, if you have any queries you can ask. So I asked them about the culture at Snapdeal, and about the pay package that they will be offering, and it was all.